Hey, what's going on, everybody? I want to speak on black terms, and this is a video I want to speak on for a while, but I never got around to it. There's a lot of black terms out here. You have terms like African American, black on black crime, the word nigga or nigger, however you want to flip it or turn it. And first I want to get into the term African American. Now, you have a lot of people out here that don't feel like we should address each other as African American, considering that a lot of us are not, first generations that are from Africa, or, the simple fact that we don't call white people European Americans, or we do have the term Mexican American, but a lot of times with the whole illegal aliens and all that shit, they kind of get broken up into a lot of different groups. But, and I can understand that. I do understand it, because we don't call other ethnicities Spain American or European American or Chinese American. We don't do that. But it seems like for black people, we have to be, oh, you guys are American, but don't forget that you're not fully American, so we're going to just throw that African on you. So I understand that. But at the same time, I have another point of view that's like, why shouldn't we be attached to Africa? I feel like a lot of times as black people, because we never been to Africa, because you see a lot of negative images of Africa, like the starving kids, and Africans digging in dirty infested water for diamonds and all kind of crazy shit, and the negative connotations that come with being so-called associated with Africa. A lot of times I feel like black people here in America don't want to be associated with Africa. They're like, oh well, yeah, that might be where I'm from the start or generations ago, but that's not where I'm at now. I've never been there, so I don't want to be attached to the term African American. And a lot of times I think that's where a lot of animosity comes from people who actually first generation or whatever, or just came over here yesterday from Africa, and then black people who just been in the United States their whole life. There's a lot of animosity between us, and one, from what I've been told from several different people who are from Nigeria or different parts of Africa, a lot of times they feel like black folks here in America have forgotten their roots. We've forgotten that that our people are originally from there. We've forgotten that we have certain opportunities here in America that we could be taking advantage of, but we're not, and we're looking down on people who might be from Africa. So when they come over here, it's like, a lot of times the Africans are more hungry. They start businesses up quicker, etc., etc. So it's a whole method of what goes on between black folks here in America and Africa. So when it comes to the term African American, it's like, I see why some people wouldn't want to be attached to it, but then at the same time, why shouldn't we be attached to it? Why do we have to be detached from something that is a part of us? The body of the first man was found in Africa. So it's like, everybody essentially is from Africa. And these are things that we have to think about. I think we've kind of been, Americanized in a way where we feel like, oh, well, forget my culture, forget where I come from, forget, different continents that have people that look just like me. I want to be American. I want to drive in the Mercedes Benz. I want the new iPod and shit. I want to live the white American dream. I don't want to be associated with my ethnicity or my history or my people. And that's the mindset that a lot of black folks have in this country. And I feel like I'm on the fence with it, because it's like I want to be attached to being called African American, but then I know that there are other ethnicities that are not called European American. They're just Americans. So I'm on the fence with it, but at the end of the day, it's like I do want to be attached to my people. You know, it's like, you ask any black person, oh, where would you want to visit? They say the Bahamas, Hawaii, all these little bullshit places. But you rarely hear Africa. You rarely hear that. And I want you to question yourself, why is that? But, on to another black term, black on black crime. Now, I find it kind of odd that we have the term black on black crime, but we don't hear white on white crime. We don't hear Mexican on Mexicans crime. We don't hear those type of terms. And really what this boils down to is that this is a term that pretty much white America has created. Those that are in power, they have created this term to keep us not focused on the big picture. They feel like, okay, we throw this term out here, black on black crime. Hey, black people, don't look at the white man. Don't look at what America is doing to you or how they're trying to keep you as a permanent underclass. You need to focus on the fact that there's blacks killing other blacks. And although that might be true, there's a bigger picture to it. Whether there's record numbers of us killing each other, you have to ask yourself, why is that? Do you think black folks we're just so evil, or we're more destructive than other ethnicities that we just want to go out and kill each other? No. There's a bigger picture. You have to look at the economical level. You have to look at the educational system. You have to look at society as a whole. You have to look at political issues that we deal with as black folks here in this country. So there's a bigger picture than just what goes on in your community. And I just think it's a way of keeping our mind off of what we really need to be focusing on, the people that we need to be focusing on. And therefore they throw out this term black on black crime, which psychologically makes you hate your own people, because it's keeping your mind focused on the fact that there's people out there that look just like you that are killing people that look like you, killing their own people. And even though that might be wrong, there's a bigger picture to it. But the fact that they keep your mind focusing on another black person that's out to kill you, psychologically that makes you hate someone who looks just like you, which in the end will give you the fear of killing someone who looks just like you before a white person that might be trying to do even more destruction and damage to you as a human being. But psychologically, because you've been programmed to think about black on black crime, and black is bad, and black is evil, and black is destruction, and black people just want to kill each other, you're more prone to go out and kill someone who looks just like you, besides people who are trying to keep you as a permanent underclass that's killing our people from the inside out, not just with a pistol. So, I just want to throw that out there, for something that everybody needs to think about, and I really think that term needs to be destroyed. Because if there's no white on white crime, there should be no black on black crime. You just had that character that shot all them kids in Connecticut, white person. Everyone screaming white on white crime? No. So, it's just something to think about. And the last thing I wanted to get into was the term nigga. Now, I've made several videos on my old channel, Knowledge 562, and I got a lot of heat for it. A lot of white people try to come in my head. That's what introduced me to the YouTube clan on here. You guys have been following me, you already know. And I've gotten several death threats from the Ku Klux Klan. And these are not people who are making fake. These are actual channels that advocate the Klan killing other black people or gays, and hey, however you want to, everything else that's boxed up within that group. And just like I said before, the term nigga or nigger needs to be destroyed also. I feel like a lot of black people try to throw it out there, oh, it's a form of endearment and blah blah blah, and I get that to a point, to a certain extent, but at the same time is that it doesn't matter what you try to throw on something. It's still the same thing. Now, if a white person come up and call you a nigger, you're going to be ready to fight. But you think it's okay to call each other nigger. And, we all slip up from time to time, call each other, certain things. You might get frustrated or mad at another black person. You be like, that nigga there, or this nigga, or you an ignorant nigga. We've all heard those type of terms. But I just think it's something that we really need to get out of our vocabulary. You know, instead of calling another black man my nigga or something like that, call him your brother. Instead of you know, calling a black woman a nigga, or even black women out there, you know, I know you guys are using a lot, not just black women, but women in general. You guys are using a lot of masculine words, which is a upcoming video that I'm gonna address. But you know, don't call each other nigga out there. Address each other as brother and sister, because that's what we really are. And you know, I'm not trying to come off as no Reverend such and such and like that. I'm just kicking real knowledge to you. We got to get that out of our vocabulary. And you know, when I was young, 18, 19 years old, you know, I'm still young, but when I was, you know, even younger, you know, I didn't really look at it that way, because you know, I didn't have an old head. I was like, yo, we need to get that out of our vocabulary. You heard it, but you didn't hear it. So you know, me being somebody who used to say nigga all the time, we really need to get that out of our vocabulary, because it doesn't matter whether if we could take a peanut butter and jelly sandwich and call it shrimp, or call it steak, but at the end of the day, it's still a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. It doesn't matter what type of meaning you try to put on it or what type of name you put on it, it's still the same thing. And that word was a word that was created to bring destruction and put down our people. So, you know, for you guys as, you know, out there saying nigga this, nigga that, get that out of your vocabulary. I know it doesn't happen overnight, but you got to try. Start addressing each other as brothers and sisters. That's what we are. But I'm out, y'all. Give me your feedback if you like. Peace.